listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. So lots of you probably already practice this in a variety of ways. If you don't, I've got some tips. It's from my fresh research on reversing a downward spiral. And the reason I'm recording it for you in a podcast is because of a note I just got from Kristen this morning. I love this note. We can thank her for this episode because she gave me the inspiration to pull out the microphone. She wrote, "I wanted to take a moment and send you a huge high five for your podcast. Anytime I need a little booty slap to get me back in the manifesting game, I pick up my phone and go to your podcast. Your delightful personality." Someone said I had a delightful personality. It's in writing. "Your delightful personality coupled with your real life narrative and applications of LOA picks me up and plops me right back into my zone. Great job following your dream, sister. I very much appreciate your work." Wow, do I appreciate that note, Kristen. Thank you for it and for giving me the inspiration to share some more experiences from my real life manifesting. I'm laughing because of the topic. Someone said to me today, "I just love hearing that you don't have it all figured out." I do not have it all figured out. But I do keep playing. I will give myself that credit. Reversing the downward spiral. Sometimes we notice, right? We'll recognize when things are going from bad to worse. Like maybe you hear some bad news before you go to sleep and you wake up kind of grumbly. And then you go to make a bowl of cereal and there's no soy milk. And then you get dressed, you're on your way to work and you notice, that stain, it didn't come out of your blouse. You can still see it, but you're already gone. So you're committed for the day, wearing a blouse with a stain on it. And then traffic just makes your mood worse. And the cheerful people at work are making you irritated. And there's something bad about that project that you were assigned to. Like no one told you it was due today. You thought you had another week, but then you look at the email and realize, oh my gosh, it really is due today. It was your mistake. Oh. And then you go, it's only 10 a.m. or it's only Monday. Your next reprieve feels like it's very, very far away. Okay, moments like that, it's a good time to recognize that you're headed in a direction that isn't very fun. And you can turn it around before it gets worse. I've got a couple of ways to do that for you. 3 ways to halt or even reverse a downward spiral. This is one that I have not played with nearly enough, but I have found it amazingly effective when I do. I heard it from Abraham. They said this is what Esther practices when she's in a contrasty situation. She names 10 good things about it. 10 good things about the situation she is not loving. That might not be for everyone to do, but for those of us who have been building our appreciation muscles and practicing thought pivoting, we can find different perspectives. We're probably better at it than the average person. Like, a while ago, one of my dates, he took a pass on spending more time with me. He broke up with me. I mean, maybe I'm being a little dramatic to say he broke up with me, but he was like, "Yeah, I don't think I need to see you anymore." Oh, I did not like that. I like that guy. I did not think that was where we were headed. Anyway, after he said that to me, I was headed down a dark hole with some of the thoughts that I was thinking. Like, why doesn't he like me? What's wrong with me? And then I was starting to think, is anyone ever going to like me? What if I'm alone forever? Can I be happy alone? Why am I so hard to get along with? Why can't I just be nicer? You know the sorts of ridiculous thoughts our gremlins feed us when we're down. I know you know the routine. I think we all do it. Maybe not all of us, but most of us. Yeah, I was doing that routine. But I recognized it. I recognized it because of how terrible I felt. And I'm only willing to feel so bad. So bad for so long. I'd like to become even more sensitive, so I'm not even willing to feel that bad before, 10 thoughts or 10 minutes pass before I'm like, oh, hey, wait, I know better. I'm not doing this. So in that case, I put a stop to it with making that mental list of 10 good things about this. What are 10 good things about this? Well, 1, there's no men to clutter up my life. And sometimes they kind of are. Romance, it kind of is feeling a little cluttery sometimes. So I get to call my own shots again. I'm not stuck trying to make time for someone when I might be rather doing my own thing. That's a good thing. Also, it's good that we cleared this one up early. If we're not a match, we didn't waste any time together. I like that. Also, another good thing, we did have fun while we were hanging out. I found a great new restaurant, had some great conversation. He helped me buy snow tires. There were some good things. It wasn't all bad. Oh, hello. Another good thing, I get to meet another new man someday. I love meeting new men. And it doesn't have to be today, it can be later. But I get another romance in my life. Because in real life, when I'm not listening to Gremlins, I know very well there will always be more love for me. So there's that. Plus, I get to practice letting a guy go with grace. No hissy fits, no hard feelings. I can find my genuine, enjoyed getting to know you, good luck with whatever you do next. I can find that, and it feels good to let someone go when they want to go. I can do that. So that's good. And also, maybe this is the time of my life when I get to really run my own show for a while. I've been significantly single before, but it's been a long time. Maybe this is a good chance for me to remember how much I like myself and my life. Could be. Plus, I don't have to wait for him anymore to watch House of Cards. I can watch it on my schedule. Yay! And you know what? Maybe my next love interest, maybe he'll like cats more than he did. I mean, he'd let Elvis sit on his lap, but he didn't love it like anyone in their right mind should. So just like that, here I'm giggling, just naming a handful of things that are right about the situation so we don't get all caught up in the negative aspect of it. Abraham has said before, I love this, I just heard this recently when they said every moment contains both negative and positive. Every moment, it has all of it in it. And whatever we focus on is what we carry forward into the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment, until eventually we got some good momentum going. So I remind myself that every moment contains something positive. And if I can see that, then I can get a good roll going. And pretty soon, I'm living in my dream home, doing my favorite work with all my favorite friends. It's like that guy who got booted off Survivor, I forget his name, but in his exit interview, after he'd been betrayed by the guy that he trusted most, in the exit, red hot, they do those exit interviews right after, you don't get time to collect yourself because they want you to be dramatic and upset. In the red hot moment, this guy says, I get emotional every time I think about him. I've probably said this before in other podcasts. I like it so much though. He's an ex-NFL player. And after Boston Rob voted him off, he said about his experience there. He wasn't talking about how mad he was, how he'd been betrayed. You know what he said? I have eyes to see the gifts. I have eyes to see the gifts. And he talked about what a wonderful experience it was to be out on this island, a place he'd never been otherwise, and to have this experience that most people never get to have. I mean, that guy, he had eyes for the gifts. It wasn't just lip service. He was genuinely doing it. Oh, that's what I want. Eyes to see the gifts. And guess what? I don't just want it. I can do it. Make my list of 10 things. You can do it too. It helps. But there's another way to put a stop to a downward spiral. I use this one a lot. I kind of mentioned it earlier. I just ask myself, how much suffering am I willing to do over this? I can just ask, is this really what I want? To be upset about this? And when you ask that question, you get to choose. Either way, there's no wrong or right answer. But if you are consciously choosing to be upset, then guess what? It's not as bad as when it felt like it was something that was happening to you. When you know you're picking it on purpose, it doesn't feel as bad. And plus, you might choose otherwise. You might instead decide, instead of feeling bad, you might be like, you know what? I'm not going to let this ruin my day. Onward and upward. That's what happened to me recently when... Look, I bought a new tree from a nursery, and I love trees. I love nurseries. I love plants. I love nature. And I bought a beautiful tree. It was the most beautiful tree. It's called a hoopsie spruce. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Hoopsii. And the new growth on it, it's like this beautiful, like a blue. It's different than the rest of the tree. It was just amazing. Okay, so I buy this beautiful tree and I bring it home, and the next day, I hadn't even put it in the ground yet. 24 hours had not even passed, and all that new growth was wilting. It was all wilting. Okay, I'm laughing now, but I wasn't laughing then. I was horrified when I saw it. I was horrified. I ran and I got a hose and I put water on it. I thought it must be dry. and it did not perk up. And I called the nursery and they said, oh, could be overwatering. And I'm like, well, if it was overwatering, it was because it happened, because I didn't even water it until it was already wilting. I watered it after it wilted. Anyway, I got upset about it. I got really upset that I was killing this beautiful tree. Apparently, maybe I was killing it because it did not seem to be coming back. And then on top of it, the nursery was like, too bad, so sad for you. Like they weren't racing out with a replacement for me. And oh man, I just did not like it. I did not like it. And then after that, I noticed one of my other new trees, the leaves burned up. It was a new tree. It was out in sun. It burned up. And I was upset about that because that was the tree my parents got me for Joe, my dog Joe, who recently passed. I had him euthanized. Ay. Joe's tree burned up. Oh, I did not like it. I don't know if it's coming back. Okay, and I'm upset about that. And then I get upset. I don't want to activate upset vibration. But then I notice the scrub oak. That's one of the key features of the landscape here. Oh my gosh. It's got blight, apparently. I called a nursery guy out, an arborist. Is that what they're called? He came out and he said, looks like blight. I'm like, oh my God, I've never dealt with that. I've heard of it. I've never dealt with it in all my years, never. He's like, his recommendations, it didn't sound very promising. And then get this, 2 more trees out front with blight as well. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm out of control. I'm going to clear this whole property of trees if I keep this routine up. I had to lose a couple trees before I asked myself, how upset are you willing to be over this? You know how Abraham says all the time, there's no reason good enough to separate you from your connection with Source. Okay, well, I had to decide, this isn't worth getting upset about. I had been upset and it was no fun. And I just decided I would rather not be upset. So all the trees still sucking. And yet I decided just, you know what, let it go. It's going to be fine. You're getting upset for no good reason. There really isn't a good enough reason to be upset. So sometimes that question can be helped. When you recognize things aren't going in a good direction, just ask yourself, am I willing? Is this really what I want? Is this how I want to feel? Hey, but there's another way to play with this as well. When we're noticing we're going to places we don't like. And guess what that is? It's to go all in. Instead of baby stepping your way into the hole, you dive in. You just full immersion all the way. That might sound crazy. It might sound crazy. But you know what? When you do that, you play those feelings out quickly when you feel them fully. And I'm going to say this doesn't like reverse a downward spiral. It just maybe plays it out and fast forward, but maybe it does kind of reverse it. I don't know. Probably not. It's just getting it over with faster because you could resist it and resist it and resist it and drag it out, or you can just roll with it and get it over with. Go all in. You know what? That's sort of what I did when I had my favorite dog euthanized. It wasn't a downward spiral. It was an event. So it wasn't the exact thing I'm talking about here. It was a very challenging event, but one that I knew to feel every bad feeling I had as fully as I could. Just like the way Frank Butterfield talks about it. Not Frank. He channels the communion of light. Squeeze all the feeling out of it, they say. I love that. I didn't hear that directly. Someone quoted them to me, so I might have that wrong. Sorry if I do, Frank. But I love that. I squeeze all the feeling out of it. Because feeling our feelings fully, it's like, you know how happiness can seem so fleeting, but sadness so enduring. It's because we don't resist happiness, but we often resist feeling sad. But if we just went with it fully, it processes pretty quickly. So that's another way to play with this. When you're feeling like you're in a place that you don't like and it's not headed anywhere good, just go all in. I'm smiling when I say it because I know that can feel scary. But if you've practiced this before, if you've practiced feeling your feelings before, you know the truth that I am speaking here, where it will move swiftly when we stop dragging our feet there. You know what I mean? You've probably got some great tips for reversing a downward spiral as well. Just knowing that you do can help you with your next one. Like just be really clear and conscious. Hey, I've done this routine before. I know what works. And if you've got tips to share, please pass them along. I'm at jma@goodvibecoach.com. Thank you for listening, and as always, happy manifesting. Oh, big PS. I forgot to tell you how my challenging downward spiral situations turned out after I engaged some remedies for them. So with the trees, I thought, the whole place is going to pot. I was texting the former owner, and she mentioned that, they do that every year. They recover from it just fine. No big deal. Hello, that's cool. And then with the guy, he texted and then phoned, not even 24 hours passed. And he's like, oh, that was a mistake. No, could we get a do-over? And with my dog, Joe, well, Joe is still on the other side. Maybe not, though. Maybe he is. But within days, I had a friend who texted a picture of a dog who needed rescuing, a 15-year-old girl who, I just absolutely love this dog. I've only had her a week and a half. I'm already in love with this dog. So my life is filled with more dog love. I mean, it's amazing to me how well this works when we work it, when we just do our vibration management practices, which is really the heart of it, is just finding a way to feel better. That's all it is. Really cool when we do it. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you got something good out of this. Bye, everyone.